Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna make strawberry pie. Super simple recipe. This was my grandma's recipe. It's one that I've grown up with ever since I was little. It is so easy. Kind of tweaked it a little along the way. And I know I've talked about strawberries before, but you know, I can't help. This is one of my favorite fruits. So I really did some deep diving into strawberries and how they're super beneficial to our mental health. So I got my cheat sheet here. I'm actually gonna read you what I found. And I pulled this from very evidence-based or peer-reviewed research, okay? So just 1 cup of strawberries. If you eat 1 cup of strawberries each day, that gives you over 100% of your daily allowance of vitamin C. So you're getting a big bang for your buck, just in these small little berries. Strawberries contain antioxidants. The antioxidants help to protect the brain from any type of oxidative stress that cause mental health issues. It also helps with brain decline because it's going to keep that brain healthy. Vitamin C is also involved in the production of the neurotransmitter serotonin. Serotonin is very vital to help us with our sleep functioning, our energy levels, as well as mood regulation. Vitamin C also helps promote neurotransmitter function, such as serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, and helps to reduce anxiety and depressive symptoms. Imagine that, all in a little berry. But guess what? I'm not done. I still have more to read. Let's see. Strawberries also have folate, which is vitamin B9. Folate's required for the production of new neurotransmitters such as serotonin and dopamine. Both of these mood stabilizing chemicals, they're responsible for, you guessed it, motivation, mood, and happiness. So low levels of folate have actually been linked to depression and anxiety symptoms. Didn't know that, did you? All right, back on antioxidants again. So antioxidants not only are part of the vitamin C group, but they also help with inflammation in the brain and protect against the oxidation. Again, those oxidizing stresses or damage that happen to the cells in the brain. Oxidation and inflammation, that's linked as well to depression and anxiety. So antioxidants, they sort of stabilize or kind of fight against those free radicals that roam the body and cause damage to our cells, especially our brain cells. And this helps to preserve our cognitive brain function as well as our mental health. Next, magnesium. This is a mineral and it is part of over 300 plus biochemical reactions in the body that are associated with brain function and mental health. Magnesium is another key component to help, again, you guessed it, regulate those neurotransmitters activities in the brain, and it also helps to reduce cortisol. This is better known as the stress hormone. A lot of us function with that high cortisol. So what do we do to get it down? We eat healthier. We eat something like strawberries or exercise, take a walk. It helps, right? We want to keep that brain functioning going. I'm struggling today. I'm going through menopause. I have a couple of autoimmune conditions. Some days my brain function is just, it's way high. And some days it's like taking a back seat. Moving on. So strawberries also have fiber, which promotes gut health. The gut-brain connection is strong and necessary for that mental health, for a healthier mental health, I should say. Fiber also helps promote increased healthy digestive tract / gut microbiome flora growth. We want the healthy microbiome to flourish, not the bad. The bad causes inflammation and it just triggers all over the body. It can trigger in the brain, it can trigger in the joints. When our bad microbiome or that bacteria in our gut flourish, that's when we start to feel pretty horrible, okay? So let's build that good bacteria up. Again, gut health is also linked to mental health. When our gut bacteria is bad, we have this Western culture diet, fried, greasy, high fat, high carbohydrates, large portions. When we eat that constantly, we shut down our digestive tract's ability to be able to allow things like serotonin to get through to the cells that it needs to get through. All right, last but not least, potassium. I didn't know strawberries had potassium in it. I do now. I learned it. I did some research. Potassium is a mineral that helps with nerve function and brain health. Didn't know that either. We could all use some nerve function help, right? It also helps with stress management and decreases the psychological symptoms of anxiety. So there you go, folks. Now, I am going to move on over here and we're going to start the glaze for our pie. All right, so I've already cut and washed my strawberries, as you can see in the pie crust I had over there. One thing I did want to say is I am super picky. Again, we all know I'm 5. I'm that very picky eater. I don't like biting into a strawberry pie and getting half my strawberry pulled out, so I cut my strawberries in quarters. So that's why my strawberries look a lot smaller. I use 2 pounds of strawberries, cut them up. Again, you cut them what works for you. So now what we're gonna do is I've got my burner on in my pan. I'm gonna start with 2 cups of water, and we're just gonna pour this in. And I've got my burner going, so I just need it to get a little warmer. I'm gonna set that aside because with the way I do things, I'll knock it overnight. So this is 2 cups of sugar. I have doubled the recipe because I'm using a larger pie crust. So we start with 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water. If you're using a smaller pie crust, you're going to do 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, and then we'll also add cornstarch in order to thicken this glaze up. So doubled, it's going to be 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. If you're doing a smaller pie crust, it will be 3 tablespoons. So we're just gonna sit here and kind of babysit this for a little bit, let the sugar dissolve, let the water start to come to a boil, and then I'm gonna add the rest of my ingredients. All right, so the sugar has dissolved, the water is boiling, so now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my cornstarch, if it wants to cooperate. See, nothing's perfect in this kitchen. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna whisk it around, and this is the magic ingredient. So what I'm doing is whisking this around to get it so that it's nice and smooth and not lumpy. You really wanna do this. Of course, today it's not gonna cooperate, but again, that's okay, it's not perfect. The magic ingredient is Jell-O. I have 1 large package of strawberry Jell-O. So we're gonna go ahead and add that in here. I'm gonna turn my burner off, and I'm getting my fingers burned. But I'm gonna keep whisking around until we get things nice and smooth, and you should start to feel the mixture, the glaze. You'll start to feel it firm up as we go along. So I'm gonna keep working this until it starts to get thicker, and then we're gonna go on over and pour it on top of those beautiful strawberries. All right, so see, I told you I'm messy, things go flying, my cornstarch went flying, spoon, you name it. What we're looking for now is this beautiful glaze. You see how it's thickening up? Very thick. See, you see it's nice and thick. I couldn't get all the cornstarch out today because it didn't want to cooperate, but that's okay. My husband and I are probably the only ones going to eat this pie, so we'll just eat around the cornstarch. But you see how thick it is? That's what you want. So now what I'm going to do is carry this hot mixture over to our strawberries, and we'll assemble the pie. All right, so let's talk about the pie crust real quick. I chose to use a different pie crust. It's one I've been using for years. A lot of classic strawberry pies come, well, I should say not come with, but when you get them, you usually eat them in a standard traditional pastry pie crust. I found that I prefer graham cracker crust. So I get just a Keebler graham cracker crust. Now I do the 2 extra servings. That's why I double up on my ratio amounts for the recipe. And I did 2 pounds of strawberries. I love graham cracker pie crust. If you don't and you want to use traditional pie crust, by all means go ahead. But this is super easy. So now we're going to just pour this beautiful glaze over top of our strawberries. And then the pie is done. We just put it in the refrigerator and let it sit. Super hot, so you want to be careful. Make sure you don't get your fingers in the way. I have been known to stick my fingers in on accident and get them burned. Doesn't feel great because this is boiling liquid. We probably will have a little of the glaze left over, but that's okay. You could always use it to dip other fruit in, but I always like to make enough so that if I want to really get all my strawberries getting covered, it's gonna go over the edges of the crust. That's okay. Again, we're not trying to be perfect. We just want all of our strawberries covered. We want it to get down in all the cracks and crevices. So you know what? Again, it's not beautiful. A little bit of glaze left over, but that's okay. It's fun to eat just by itself. If you want a beautiful pie, by all means, make it beautiful. But you know what? I love it when the glaze runs over like this because it becomes part of the crust and it makes the crust yummy too. So now all I do is just, since I can't put the top on because I put a little too much glaze on, I'll just kind of gently rest it like this and put it in the refrigerator and let it set for several hours and then enjoy your pie. From my kitchen to yours.